I was brought up in a colliery village in County Durham. My dad was a coal miner for 40 years. I lived through the 1980s. I know what happens when an industry closes. I know what happens to local communities. And some people say, and they might be right, that the grievances from the 1980s in those communities fed into that referendum vote in 2016. But we now face the prospect, and it's not just me saying it, and it's not just politicians saying it. It's the people who run these businesses. It's the Jaguar Land Rovers. It's the BMWs. It's the Nissan just down the road here that is responsible in one way or another for 30,000 jobs plus. They're saying, don't do it. And we should listen to what they've got to say, because I do not want to see this region see the losses in jobs that it did in the 1980s with the closure of the mines. And that's what you'll be talking about. And it may not happen overnight. It took 20 years or so to close all the collieries in the northeast of England. My dad was made redundant from 2 pits in a decade. It just goes to prove it won't happen overnight, but it will happen. And those grievances will not go away, they will still be there. And the reason why it will be harder after Brexit, when these companies go or when they close, than it was in the 1980s. The reason why Nissan came to the northeast of England is because we were in the single market, we were in the customs union, and we were in the European Union. Now, we've got to go back into our communities and cut out the abuse and ignore the abuse. Those that are not democratic, because democracy did not end on June the 23rd, 2016. People have the right to say whether they agree with the deal that is going to come back, if indeed a deal does come back from Europe. And if you want to make yourself poorer, if you still want to vote leave, you can do it. But I wouldn't recommend it. I would vote to remain, because that is the only way that we can ensure the prosperity of this region. And some people may not want to hear that. But if your mind is fixed by prejudice and bigotry, then you're not going to listen to what people say. And I'll say this.